can ask one of the guys back there, but not me. Whichever one you want. Make way for the two congressmen.
You guys going to 12?
Lobby.
Lobby. We're going to the lobby.
Okay.
What did you guys see in the...
Well, we saw a couple of trials. They were continued for new trial dates. In one case, the government moved to dismiss the case. The defendant, I suppose, in both cases, the defendant, I'd call him, in both cases said he didn't want the case dismissed, and the judge said, okay, I won't dismiss it, then I'll give you a trial date.
And what did you think to the masked agents in the hallway?
I don't understand why federal agents ought to be masked. I think it's an abuse.
Okay.
It's police state tactics so that you can't call them out for misconduct.
And also those agents seem to be FBI and not ICE potentially.
Well, I don't know whether they're FBI or ICE if they're...
Some have FBI on their
okay.
on their
Watch it. No federal agent should be wearing a mask so that he can't be identified if he should act improperly. That's police state tactics.
And did they speak to you, or?
No.
Did ICE speak to you? I know you requested to speak to ICE.
No, I think we're going to do that in a moment.
We're going to do that in a moment. This is Congressman Adler. How are you?
So we are here to conduct oversight of the detention holding facility on 10. We sent a notice, a request. We obviously have the authority to show up unannounced and to see it, but we sent multiple requests. The last one was Monday. I'm on the, just to make sure that you have notice, so that that's not a reason why we can't go in. And we received an email yesterday denying our request. And so we don't agree with the denial, and so we're here to talk to you and once again ask to be able to observe the detention facility.
There is no legal reason to say no to us. As Congress people, we have the absolute right to inspect any federal facility, including a detention center. You have no right to say no to us. That's a matter of law.
Well, that's not our understanding of the gentleman. I appreciate you guys coming, but our understanding is that your oversight responsibility is 527 do not include processing areas. It's not
They include all areas.
Well, let's just talk about are people being held on 10? Are immigrants being held? How long does the processing take? Less than 24 hours?
That's the hope. They're certainly processed.
Certainly processed. We have heard reports that people have been kept there for as long as 1 week.
A week is a bit of an exaggeration. We have
A week is what?
people in and out. Is an exaggeration. We haven't had anybody there for 7 days.
So what do you mean rotating in and out?
we've had them there, we've taken them to a different holding facility and then brought them back.
Why do you bring them back? If this is just a processing center.
What's the point of moving them from one center to another and then bringing them back?
Because we're staging them for a place for them to be held, for longer term detention. So,
But if they're held in detention for, let's say, a week, you're moving them from one place to another so you can say they weren't in one place for a week?
no, so that they can be housed in a more appropriate place. We use Nassau County Jail, as you may know, temporarily for 72 hours, so that they will have eventually the ability to be seen by medical and things that we can't do here. But if we're then going to place them on a charter flight to go someplace else, we'll bring them back here before they're moved.
Do any of the individuals who are processed here spend the night here?
They have.
They have spent the night.
Are
If
there
they are
beds?
processed, why are they spending the night?
You don't have any resident destination. I'm sure you are well aware we're approaching capacity.
So they're held here overnight sometimes. They have proper nighttime facilities like beds.
Well, that's why we would take them to Nassau County Jail. Hospital.
But you don't have beds here.
We do not have those.
So where are they held overnight?
If we can, we'll put them in Nassau County Jail temporarily.
I know, but you said that
or
some are
somebody
stay
else.
over here
Yeah.
at night. Where do they stay?
On the 10th floor.
Where?
On the 10th floor.
On the floor.
On the floor.
Or benches.
In bathrooms?
They have bathrooms up there.
No, but do they stay in the bathrooms?
They don't stay in the bathrooms.
They stay on the floor and benches is what he said.
Are they fed?
Of course.
And do any stay more than one night?
It's happening, yes.
And so if people are processed and they're staying 2 days, how is it not a detention facility?
Because it's not.
Well, it's being used as a detention facility.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't
People
have...
are detained for several days. It is a detention facility, whatever you choose to call it.
Or you may choose to call it a detention facility because we're keeping people longer.
Because
than
you're
we would
detaining
prefer.
people.
We're housing them until they can be detained.
What is the definition of a detention facility?
I would have to get back to you on that. Wasn't prepared to speak to it.
The
So
normal meaning
the-
of a detention facility is a place where people are detained.
Okay.
And if you are
This
detaining
is
them
a
for a
holding
couple
and
of days,
processing facility. It is not a detention facility.
well, it may
Right,
not
if it
be.
is being used as a detention facility, you at least agree with that. Once they are processed and they're not removed to another detention facility, you are using this as a detention facility.
No,
Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that until we have a place for them to be housed, to be detained during the pendency of their hearings, that they need to be
All
housed.
right,
So what is it? What does you call it if they're after they're processed? If they remain here for 2 or more nights?
It's still a holding and processing facility. It's not a detention.
I'm not asking about the facility. I'm asking what do you call their status? If they've already been
in
processed, so
transit.
it's not processed.
In transit, did you say?
In transit.
Until we have a place for them to go, they're going from here to someplace else. They're not staying here. They're in transit until such time.
Well, we're into
have a place for them to
we're into metaphysical definitions.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
if
trying to
this
get
place
to.
is being used to detain people for several nights. It's a detention facility, whatever you choose to call it.
And just so we're clear, Section 527 explicitly states that members of Congress have authority to observe and conduct oversight over detention facilities and areas that are being used as detention facilities. I believe we have the exact definition here. Is that, so you're saying that even though people have already been processed and are here for 2 or more nights, that this is not being used as a detention facility.
Okay, that's ridiculous. That is just ridiculous.
So, used, so it's the language is cannot prevent a member of Congress from entering for the purpose of conducting oversight any facility operated by or for the Department of Homeland Security used to detain or otherwise house aliens. And so you're saying that if they remain here for more than 2 nights, they are not being housed here?
They're not being housed or detained.
They are in our custody, obviously. We're talking about measure fix
Right.
before, yeah, from the minute they're.
No, but I mean, it's
plane-
housed as to sleep after being processed, and you're saying that you're denying us access even though you've already acknowledged that they are being housed here.
Well, again, it's a definition. We're not. There's no intention.
I mean,
to house
houses,
them.
you know, we're not talking about the definition of to be here, where is, like housing, house is house, that's where
Right.
people stay.
Housed or detained.
It's,
Let me ask you this.
and so this
Getting
came
away
from on
from your
high?
misinterpretation, getting away from your absurd misinterpretation of the statute, why won't you let us see this? Are you ashamed of what's there? Is there some? So why won't you let us see it?
Because our understanding is it was explained to us. Can you back that up a little bit if you don't know? I don't want to spit on it.
Your understanding is that you don't have to.
Well, anyway,
Your understanding is that you don't have to. But why won't you?
because we were told not to.
Who told you that?
You guys should have received the email denying OCR, right? Saying that we're not going to do it. We don't have to, right? That's from our headquarters.
From the headquarters.
Yeah.
What does
So-
OCR stand for?
Office of Congressional Relations. You're welcome to write back to whomever it was that denied you. Right?
And what's your name,
Yeah.
sir?
Bill Joyce, Joyce.
What's your title?
Joyce. And what is your
And your
title?
position?
Deputy Field Officer.
Deputy Field Officer.
Correct.
Deputy Field Officer Director.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We understand you're following orders.
Sorry,
Let's go outside.
Bill. Thank
Deputy Field Director. The other woman who didn't speak was the Field Director. Her name was Alma. I have it in an email. No. His was Joyce, I think, right?
Come back in 15 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes prior to your appointment.
Excuse me, people coming up.
Yeah, okay. Next. How can I help you?
We want to go to the post office.
Yeah, are you carrying any weapons?
No.
Please enter.
Yeah.